This channel is not monetized, therefore it does not collect data on its viewers. That being said, this is an adult channel. In this video, I'd like to recommend a couple of streaming shows and not recommend one. First of all, let's talk about the one I didn't like. It's called Another Life. It's on Netflix. The main protagonist is Katee Sackhoff's character. I think her name is Ty. I can't remember. There you go. Yeah. Katee was Starbuck on the reimagined Battlestar Galactica, and I'm a big fan of hers. She has incredible range. I don't think she's been given the credit that she is due. That being said, this series starts out really good. I was pretty well hooked. An artifact lands on Earth. They're trying to figure out what's it's doing, and her husband is a linguist, I guess, and he tries to figure out. But then they decide they need to send her, since she has space experience, to the origin point of the UFO, the artifact. So there's two stories going on at once. It was really good. I was really enjoying it until about the probably the fifth episode. It just completely fell apart for me. And all these tropes started happening. I mean, they'd already been through one viral infection, contamination ordeal on a ship, but they go to this moon to resupply and look for a piece of an artifact, and they're not wearing environmental suits. They split up. They start eating the vegetation. They start touching the alien artifact, the relic, with their bare hands. Then they find these trees that make you high from the pollen, and they get high. I mean, and then the rest of the crew, they're all acting like they're on an episode of Survivor. It's just bizarre how it fell into something so terrible. That episode was so bad, I had to turn it off. I don't know if I can finish the series. So, if you've seen it, tell me what you think. Also, Tales from the Loop. Tales from the Loop is on Amazon. It just came out last week, and I was really excited to see it. And I liked it. It's good. Very, very good. But it may not be for everybody. It's got a slow burn to it. I would compare it to a movie that came out a few years ago called The Tree of Life, I think it was, with Sean Penn. And it's beautiful and slow, but it's good. Or you could compare it to Ad Astra. Ad Astra was kind of slow burn. Magnificent visuals, great acting. The Revenant was kind of slow in parts, but beautiful. And that's kind of what Tales from the Loop is, with a sci-fi slant to it. It's basically a small town in Ohio called Mercer. There is an R&D, like high physics facility there, and I guess there's so much going on in that facility of experimentation, anomalies start popping up around the facility and around the small town in Ohio. But that's not what it's really about. That's actually a gimmick that they use. That's a gimmick that they use to express some ideas. What Tales from the Loop is really about is be careful what you wish for, because There's 8 episodes, and one episode deals with what if you could change with somebody else their life? What if you could trade? It doesn't always end up being what you think or how wonderful you think it's going to be. There's another episode where you go into a parallel universe, and the you there got what you wanted, but the you there isn't happy. And it deals with death, dealing with death. Not all endings are happy. Deals with time and age. It's kind of a high-minded, high-concept series, but I love that stuff. It makes you think. Even though my studies in philosophy and physics and stuff, I was already aware of a lot of that. But I highly recommend it. But just be warned, you may think it's boring. I even thought there's a couple parts that they needed to trim. There's no lasers. There's some robots. They're roaming the woods. It's fascinating. And it takes place in the 70s. I was born in the 60s, and I was there in the 70s, and it's the 70s. One episode deals with one of the characters as a child, and he was looked like the 40s or 50s. Yeah, it takes place in like the 70s. It's like but it's this lab with these super smart people, so they're a little bit advanced in that area. I don't know. Watch it. Tell me what you think. And then the third thing that I want to talk about is Altered Carbon Season 2. I loved the first season. It was rich. It was so rich. So I liked it so much, I kind of kept up with what was going on with Season 2. Because I was ready for it. And I found out early that the actor who played the protagonist in Season 1, he was also in Suicide Squad. I think he was in the new RoboCop. I'm sorry, Kinnaman, I think his name is. Anyway, he's not in it. They got Anthony Mackie, who plays the Falcon in the Marvel movies, to take his place. And I looked on IMDb to look up some trivia, and unfortunately, there were a lot of people who were upset that didn't know that Anthony Mackie was going to be taking over. And I wish they hadn't done that, because, you know, in that universe, your body is what they call a sleeve, and if it gets damaged or killed, you take your stack out and stick it into another sleeve. And that's literally what happened here. That's what people in that universe would be encountering from time to time. Someone you know 20 years, that you've known for 20 years. Someone that you have known for 20 years and has had to re-sleeve, their appearance is completely different, unless you're rich enough to have a clone in that universe. So us, the audience, would be going through what people in that universe would be going through, encountering someone that they got attached to, but they're in a different sleeve. It was a little bit slow to get going. The first 2-3 episodes, it was jarring because it was a different actor. But if you give it past the 3rd episode, it gets really good. The production values, as far as I'm concerned, wasn't up on par with the first season, but it was good. It was good enough. I enjoyed it. I would recommend it. It wasn't as good as the first season, but it's good. It's good. And I would give it past the 3rd episode, because it got really, really good, because they brought back the original Takeshi Kovacs, his original form, his original body. They saved it, they cloned it, and he saved it. his original conscious, because you can copy your consciousness, and to have a fight with the one who's had 30 years experience, and that one that he was suspended at a certain age. So you've got one with experience dueling with one that still has some naivete to him. And then there's some plot twists, and I mean it gets really fascinating. There's some fascinating stuff to it. So I would highly recommend it. Go see Altered Carbon Season 2 and tell me what you think. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next video.